Hey guys, this week for Weapons Wednesday, we're looking at some of the newest weapons we just added to the KarateMart.com website. But before we begin, if you could just like this video and subscribe to our channel, that would be awesome. So last week we did a very special Resident Evil edition of Weapons Wednesday, and I gave you 5 different weapons to choose from in order to survive a zombie outbreak. And we had some really awesome weapons for you to choose from, but you guys went to the community tab and voted for your favorite, and you guys chose the hand-forged spear sword. What an excellent choice, guys. I absolutely love this weapon. I love the fact that we have a long reach with this weapon, and the blade is so sharp. So this week, I asked Amanda to go back to the warehouse and grab 5 of our newest items for us to review. So make sure you guys go to the community tab at the end of this video and vote for which one you liked best. So without further ado, Amanda, what's our first weapon?
There you go.
Awesome, awesome, thank you. Okay. Oh wow, 2 weapons in the first box. Very cool. All right, so our first weapons are the modern tactical Bowie knife and the modern combat Bowie knife. Very nice. Okay. Oh wow, okay, so let's start with the modern combat Bowie knife. Okay, so first off, I can see that it's got this really heavy-duty black nylon sheath. And that is really nice. It's actually got a belt loop on it, so we can keep it on the side of our body. Looks really cool. Let's take out the knife itself. Oh wow, that blade is just nuts. That actually looks like something from Rambo or something. Very, very cool. All right, so we can see that it is a clip point blade. I actually love that style of blade. It's very, very nice. And then it is, oh yeah, very sharp, and the point is very sharp. That's awesome. I actually like that a lot. All right, so the blade itself is made from a 440 stainless steel with a black finish to it. Now, 440 stainless steel is not my favorite type of steel for a knife blade, but I do like the fact that it is corrosion resistant, and for a knife like this that might be used in an outdoor setting, that actually could come in really handy, so I don't mind that at all. And then we can see that there is a stainless steel handguard on here, and we've got a stainless steel pommel down here, which I absolutely love seeing these stainless steel pommels down here because that could come in really handy for non-lethal defensive purposes. Like, look how hard that is. If we needed to use it for a hammer strike or something, that could actually really come in handy. So I think the thing that's most obvious about this knife is the handle. That's a very modern look for that handle. Looks really, really nice. And that is a rubberized ABS grip on there. So that is really comfortable on my hand. It's actually got that ergonomic design so my hand fits around it just perfectly. And then we've got these thumb grooves up here that actually give me great control of this blade. So I actually like that a lot. Very, very nice. So the overall length of this knife is approximately 15¼ inches, and the blade length is approximately 9½ inches, and the knife weighs approximately 13 ounces. So that's a really nice weight for this knife. I actually like that a lot. And then the other version of this knife is called the modern tactical Bowie knife. And as you can see, it's got a really nice chrome colored blade. So I guess it just depends on which color you're into. I personally like the black because that gives me more of a stealthy looking knife. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. But I'm gonna go ahead and put these away and let's move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what's our next weapon?
There you go.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, and our next weapon is the Octagon Speed Nunchaku. Ooh, nice. We've actually carried these for quite a while now, and I'm actually really glad you grabbed them, Amanda, because these things are awesome. I love how thin they are. So they're actually only about 3/4 inch in diameter, which is so nice because that allows these to be way lighter and way faster. So let's just see. I don't have a lot of room here, but this is, I mean, look how fast that is. That's so nice and so fast. So for something like a tournament or a competition or a demo, these things are going to be ideal for that. That's just awesome. So they're made out of a red oak, which is actually a really good wood, and I like how they're stained like so nicely. It looks really, really polished and stained well. One thing I should probably mention about these though is if you're gonna buy a couple of pairs of them and you want them to match perfectly, these are actually a natural wood. So the wood grain, the wood tone is gonna be a little bit different on every pair. So if you need 2 pairs to match, order them at exactly the same time. That way we can kind of match them up as we send them to you, and just make sure that they look really nice. One of the things I really like about these Speed Nunchaku is that they actually are available in 2 different lengths. So the ones I'm holding here are 12 inches, and then we also have a 10-inch version. So for me, because I've got such long forearms and I want it to fit into my armpit, the 12-inch version is just perfect. And that actually flows just great for me. I love that. And then the cord is about 3 inches long. So 3 inches is about right. I typically like the nunchucks to just kind of drape over my hand about that much. So 3 inches is about perfect. But what I typically tell people when they're buying a pair of corded nunchaku is to actually take out the cord and then restring them to the exact size of your hand. Because different people want them to be a little bit longer or a little bit shorter depending on what they're doing with them. And we actually have a video on our YouTube channel that shows exactly how to restring them. So it's really an easy process. And then if we look closely, we can see that there's actually hot glue that's holding that cord into the nunchuck. So people ask about that hot glue fairly often. And what that does is that prevents fraying, and then it also keeps the cord in there secure. So when you do restring it, I'd suggest actually just taking a hot glue gun, just putting a little bit of hot glue back in there just to keep your string from fraying. On some of the pairs of corded chucks, you'll actually see the hot glue up in this area. And that's really nice because it keeps the cord from fraying up there. But these have been lathed so smoothly up there that you're not going to have any fraying problem with that cord. It's actually really smooth in there. Now the weight of these chucks is just a little bit hard for me to say because the density of the wood is going to be a little bit different on each pair, but generally a 10-inch pair is going to be about 4 ounces and a 12-inch pair is going to be approximately 5 ounces. So that's a really nice weight for these chucks. I actually really like these things. I think for a tournament or for a demo, they're just absolutely perfect. I love having these as a backup pair of nunchucks for just playing around with. So cool. But let's go ahead and put these away and move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what's our next weapon?
There you go.
Awesome. Thank you so much. All right, let's see what we have here. Oh, nice. Very, very nice. All right, so our next weapon is the Wolverine hand claws. Very cool. We've actually done quite a few claws recently, but these ones look really unique. So first off, I like how they're spread apart a little bit differently. That actually makes them really comfortable on my hands. Like some of the claws we've seen recently actually dig into your knuckles a little bit, but these ones don't. Like I can pull up on the claw quite hard, and that actually doesn't dig into my knuckle pad at all. I'd actually probably suggest getting a pair of gloves to put underneath them, but you don't really need them. That's not necessary with these claws. So the blades themselves are actually fairly sharp, which is kind of nice too, because we've seen some claws where they weren't sharpened blades, but these ones actually are. And then the tips are actually really sharp, so that's nice. So the claws themselves are made out of a stainless steel, and what's cool is we can see that there's this black finish around the blades of the claws. So I really like the contrast on that. I think that looks so unique and really, really nice. And then it looks like the claws are connected to the handle right there, and the handle is made out of some sort of composite material, possibly a pack of wood, but I'm pretty sure that's some sort of composite. But it feels really nice on my hand. It actually feels really comfortable. These are probably the most comfortable claws we actually carry, so I actually like that. Now the claws are about 9 inches each, and the blade area is approximately 5.5 inches. But these things are actually sold individually, not as a pair. So if you're planning on being some sort of superhero or something, make sure you get 2 of them. But I actually really like these. I think they're really cool. But let's go ahead and put these away and move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what do you got next for me?
There you go.
Thank you. All right, let's see what this is. All right, so our next weapon is the flashlight disguise stun gun. Darn it. Okay. All right. Oh, this is actually really cool. I like this. I guess when I look at this, the thing I like the most about it is it actually looks like a normal flashlight. So we can tell that this is actually made out of an aluminum, and then it's covered by some sort of rubberized ABS. So this thing is actually going to hold up really nicely. Oh yeah, that thing's not going to break on you at all. I actually like that a lot. And then it looks like we've got a flashlight here. So yeah, we turn it on there, it turns on the flashlight, hit it again, and then we have a dull dim light, and we hit it again, and we've got a strobe effect. So I like that. I like being able to put on a strobe effect so we can grab the attention of other people if we need it. So that's actually a really cool feature. And then if we hit the button down, that turns on the stun gun. But it doesn't really turn on the stun gun unless we hit this button down here. So it's kind of nice knowing that we have a safety switch down here, so we're not going to accidentally discharge our stun gun on us. So if we want to use it, we can always just flip the safety switch down there and then hit the stun gun switch here, and then now it's engaged. So that's good to know. All we have to do is just hit this button here, and then there goes your stun gun. So that sounded pretty loud, actually. One of the other things I like about this stun gun is the belt clip. That actually looks like a really heavy-duty belt clip. And generally with stun guns, I don't like when they have holsters. I like a simple design where they have a thing like a belt clip. So we can just hook it on there, and if we're out walking at night, we can just grab it and use it. So I actually like the simplicity of that. That's pretty awesome. And then we can tell down here that it is a rechargeable stun gun. So we can just plug in this little cord, charge it up whenever we need it. And that's pretty awesome. I actually like the fact that a lot of the stun guns nowadays are rechargeable like that. So the length of this stun gun is approximately 6 3/8 inches, and it weighs approximately 6 ounces. So that's a really good weight for this flashlight. I actually like that a lot. I think it's pretty cool. One thing I like to mention when we're talking about stun guns is it's very important that you check your local laws to make sure these are legal in your area, because different states, different cities, different countries, different municipalities all have different laws relating to what can be sold there, what can be owned, and what can be carried. So it's just important that you check your local laws. But what I noticed on this stun gun in particular is that the manufacturer doesn't state how many volts it is. And I actually really appreciate that, and we're seeing that more and more with different manufacturers. Because if you remember when I started making these videos, you would see the manufacturers would put stuff like 500 million volts on a stun gun, or some obscene number like that. And I started telling everybody that it's important to not listen to that number, because the manufacturers just throw a random number on their stun guns to make them appear that they're more powerful than other stun guns. So I'm really liking seeing that the manufacturers are not putting a number on that, because that to me is a little bit deceiving. So what I like to do is I like to listen to the crackle of the stun gun to see how loud it is. So let's listen to that first. Yeah, that's pretty loud. So I have a feeling this one's actually going to be very powerful. And then the other thing we do, unfortunately, is with every stun gun, I always have Amanda stun me just to make sure it is an effective weapon. So I'm going to go ahead and pass this over to Amanda, and I'm going to have her stun me on the arm. And let's hope I get through this okay. All right,
hey guys.
Amanda. All right, so I'm going to hold on here and try to hit me right. Oh, gosh. Oh, God! Oh, I hate, oh, jeez! Okay. I hate that. It always hurts so much. So yes, this one definitely is very powerful. So I actually really like this stun gun. I like how inconspicuous it is. That's actually a very strong stun gun. You can see how red my arm is, so that definitely hurt. I think it's going to be an effective self-defense weapon. So yeah, let's go ahead and put this away and move on to our next weapon. All right, Amanda, what's our next weapon?
There you go.
Awesome, thank you. Okay, let's see what we have here. Oh, cool, cool. Very nice. All right, so our next weapon is the Combat Steel Scimitar. Very nice. I don't think we've shown off any scimitars in our video, have we, Amanda?
No.
Mm-mm. Okay, so first off, we can see that it's got this really heavy-duty nylon sheath, so that's nice. I actually like that a lot. And it looks like it's got a shoulder strap on it, so that's pretty cool. We can actually wear this on our shoulder. I like that. All right, let's check out the sword itself. Wow. I love that modern design. Very, very cool. I like the fact that we have like a stainless steel in the handle surrounded by this black pack-a-wood. That actually looks really nice. I love the contrast there. That looks so cool, so modern. And then look at this pommel down there. That is like a really heavy-duty stainless steel down there. Oh man. So we could totally use that for defensive purposes. I absolutely love that. We could hammer strike with that pommel. Very heavy duty, very cool. And then the handguard appears to be made out of stainless steel. And then the blade itself is a very, very thick stainless steel. So that's really nice. That's not going to break easily at all because that's super thick. So if we look at the blade, we can see that there's a fuller on there, but that fuller is so shallow that that's actually not going to take any weight off the blade. That's definitely on there for aesthetic purposes. And we can also see that it's got this painted design on there as well, which is pretty cool. Like that black paint actually contrasts really beautifully with the blade. And then because we have this black pack of wood in there, I just love that modern look. That looks so cool. And then let's see how sharp this blade is. Oh yeah, that's really sharp actually. And then the tip is very sharp. And then you can see that on top we have this false edge up here. That would be kind of cool to bring that back to a belt sander and actually sharpen that up as well. I actually think that that's probably what I would do if I bought this weapon. So the weight is approximately 1 pound 14 ounces, which is pretty heavy. And then if we look at the balance of the sword, we can see that most of the weight is on the blade of the sword, which is something I typically don't prefer. But with this sword, I actually get pretty good momentum with that, and I have good control. So it actually doesn't bother me at all. The approximate length is about 25 inches, and the blade length is about 17.5 inches. So overall, I actually really like this sword. I think it's pretty cool. So make sure you guys go to the community tab and vote for which weapon you like best this week. But if you have any questions on this or any of the other weapons I showed off in this video, definitely leave them in the comments below. Make sure you like this video and subscribe to our channel, and check out KarateMart.com because we've got all sorts of really cool weapons on there right now. But until next week, we'll see you Weapons Wednesday.